purchased a house which had an extension which, according to the paper under the lino, was built in 1974, and when asbestos was all the rage. So after an asbestos audit, and the asbestos people have been in and removed it, we clad it with a corrugated galvanised iron. The galvanising tends to grey off and age quite well, and that's what we're after. And the eave overhang was a boxed eave. So once the asbestos eave sheets had been removed, we decided to expose the rafters and trim them up to expose them and give a lighter look to the home. The wall is facing northwest, which cops a lot of heat on that wall. So we put in some wire trace across, dropping down from the eave, so that we can get a deciduous vine that will shade that northwest wall in the summertime, where it really cops the heat. So we just looked at re-insulating the wall as we did the works. Obviously splashed a lot of paint around inside and tidied it up. There was some groovy 70s wallpaper in there that was just a shame to pull it out, but it had to go. So now it's created a great little space. We upgraded the insulation by putting in some new. We ended up getting some 2.7 bats. That's about the biggest insulation bat that we could find that would fit into a 90mm wide frame. We then used a permeable wrap over the top of that, which is the sisolation which goes around the outside of the wall, and it's a breathable one, so that condensation and air movement can still go through, but it still provides a seal. And then taped up all the joints and made sure we really sealed it up well before we installed the new cladding and flashings and things over the top. The room where the extension has got 3 bedrooms and a large open space that we use for office, which has been really good for this new work at home scenario. It created a really lovely space, and the whole family gravitates into this area. So it just becomes that inviting space. And then we installed a 6 kilowatt system, solar panels over the top with a 5 kilowatt inverter. And that is facing towards the northeast. So we then went around and set up everything to dishwashers and washing machines and all that to run in the afternoons, to try and use power when we are generating, just to keep the maximise the use of those panels on the roof. It's taking a pretty dingy old asbestos-clad space and just revitalised, and it's a fantastic space. I know the original house is from the 20s and the extension was done in the 70s. Neither of those construction times or eras are very good for energy efficiency. So we've been working with our budget and what we're prepared to spend on the home. And again, the solar panels and the split systems, a good choice of energy efficient split systems. They are quite good. I've put in a door that zones the house into different areas. I actually put a door closer on that internal door just because there's teenagers in the house and that door was always left open. This original site back in was part of the old Bendigo Creek areas, an offshoot from the Bendigo Creek. So there's a lot of fill on this site, and the neighbour who has done an extension did talk about some contaminated soil. So a little bit concerned about growing and eating vegetables here based on that information. I wasn't quite sure. I haven't had the soil tested, but I like the idea of the wicking beds based on the information I got from the Bendigo Sustainability Group. And so we built a fairly large wicking bed. It's a metre wide, 2.7 long, and it just keeps giving. It is absolutely fantastic. A house that had been a rental property for many, many years. It was really run down, and the garden was very much unloved. But I think that was almost appealing when we came here, because it just gave us the opportunity to blank canvas and really build it from there. So yeah, it's been a great little project.